Good morning, people of God. Happy Thursday to you. I am in some congested traffic that is slowing down due to an accident. There was a previous accident that I passed earlier. I made my way through that. Traffic was going good. Now it's slowed down again. I can't really tell what's going on up here as of yet, but it is back way up. And I just got off the phone with my God-given earthly father, and we were talking about how many young people have lost their lives prematurely lately due to accidents, and we have to pray for our young people, pray over our young people. Parents have to pray over your children, because sometimes it could not even be their fault, and there can be somebody else being reckless and causing accidents, and they can lose their life. I remember these three young folk who were, every time I went to my local grocery store, they were there. They worked, very respectful, mannerable. And over one weekend, when I went back in the store the following week, all of a sudden I saw, things out with their pictures and the flowers. So I'm thinking they were taking up money, but really it's like a memorial thing, because all three of them worked at the same place and they all died. They all lost their lives prematurely. I think they were like 18, 19, and 20, if I'm not mistaken, and then my pops just told me how there were four young kids in his neighborhood recently, four boys being, riding together. And I think they were, doing what boys do, may have been taking the car higher speed than normal, and they ended up getting into an accident, and all four of them just recently prematurely lost their lives. And so young people, you have to be mature when you out here handling these motor vehicles. Don't try to be flashy in front of friends. Don't try to show off. Don't care who call you old fashioned or none of that type of stuff, because sometimes when you ain't doing something reckless, people, those who doing the reckless stuff, they will try to crack jokes on you and make you feel like you missing out, but you really ain't missing out. Be very mature. I have some younger cousins. I have three younger cousins. One, he's off in college now, doing so good, and the two of them, they're twins. They're in high school. I think they'll be graduating this year. Very respectful, mannerable. They're very athletic. They play basketball, football, all of them. They do everything, and they are so mature when they're out driving and stuff like that. The two twins, they didn't even care about getting their driver's license. Really, they didn't mind riding with Big Brother all their years going to school and stuff, because he was the first one driving. So they were like, we don't need our driver, we ride with him. But when he had to leave to go to college, they ended up having to get their driver's license so that they could drive, because their parents also work full time, right? But they're so mature, and their parents are prayerful people, right? And so we have to pray over our young people and instruct them in the right way. Prayer does make a difference. Even myself, even not only young people, we all have to pray over ourselves, because there's just so much prematurely death happening right now. And lately I've been praying against that spirit of premature death. I've been praying against that a lot lately. Even recently we see where the gangway in Georgia, those folk that were walking across that gangway, that thing just collapsed, and you had folk who lost their lives prematurely. Many of them, they've seen a great deal of their life, but still yet looked like they were healthy, happy people. One lady, she was so beautiful. I saw where she took a picture with her niece right before they went to cross the gangway. She was 93 years old, very successful lady, and she lost her life in that water. Several people, I think they were all over 70, that lost their life, and a little baby almost drowned. But thank God for a guy who was able to pull the baby onto his boat, and I think he administered CPR. And majority of the other people, they were able to recover them, and so they started throwing out life jackets, and a lot of those people were able to recover. Learning how to swim is another great thing, but still yet, in such a unforeseen thing, it was just unexpected like that. We do have an adversary. We have to pray against the spirit of untimely death. Let's constantly keep praying. Back in the day when my grandmother was living, there was still wickedness in the earth, but you didn't see a lot of the wickedness that we saw now. When my grandmother was living, when my Aunt Rosa, my Aunt Ada, all of my elder aunts and stuff, and uncles that are going on now, they were very prayerful and mature people, and they also were like the glue to keep the families together, and they made you feel love. Sometimes you didn't even have to say words. When you were having a hard day, you could just go and sit in their presence. I remember sometimes leaving college, my heart would be so heavy, I would just want to go and lay in the bed with my Aunt Rosa. Even though she had gotten sick in her body, she was bedridden, but she always was in good spirit, and I would go lay in the bed with my Aunt Rosa, and we would just sing, and that would just make me feel better. Or I would go find my Uncle Abraham and just go sit with him. Me and him would just sit and talk, and then he'll start praying, and we would cry together. It was something about their spirit, and we need more of that. We don't see a lot of that now because, a lot of the love, it ain't the same how it used to be in the elders that were. It ain't the same. The way my older aunts and uncles, and that love and that unity that everybody used to flock around them. I know my Aunt Ada, everybody in the community, when I would go down in the country to visit her, I just would love to be down there sometimes. She would take me and my mama under her wings, and everybody in the community could go to my Aunt Ada house and eat breakfast. They could eat, and she would always make biscuits, and stuff like that. Everybody would talk about the biscuits, even when there were folk that would come over from Africa and visit, and they would talk about the biscuits and the food that she made and stuff. It was just a lot of love and unity, and that I don't see that in the earth like I see it now. You didn't even have to be related to her. You could feel love coming from these elders. They showed love to everybody, and they believed in prayer, and so there's not a lot of prayer. I remember when my uncles used to get in trouble sometimes, my grandmama was a praying woman, and she had to have their back. But, thank God, their lives could have been taken prematurely. But I believe many of her prayers covered her children. And even though she's gone on from this earth today, I believe her prayers and her heart is still with her children that she left in this earth today, And many people have struggles and stuff like that. But I know that the prayer of the righteous availeth much. And we need to start praying more for our young people, even for ourselves. We need to start praying more, praying that the love of God will hit the hearts of people whose heart have turned to hearts of stone, praying against spirit of untimely death, praying against the spirits of infirmity, and also putting the right things in our bodies as well, because sometimes we have high blood pressure sitting in our cabinets. We have all the canned goods and sodiums and some of these seasons and stuff like that. They are nothing but poison, and the lack of knowledge is the reason many of God's people have perished prematurely. There are natural things that God have left in this earth that you can take to heal your body. I don't believe there's, like Dr. Sebi just said, I don't believe there's any any disease that's not curable. And thank God for the young brother, Dr. Yaki, who's walking in his purpose, shining that light for God's people. You can even, there's a moringa powder. If you have high blood sugar, you can even take moringa powder, and you will instantly see it lower your blood sugar. And then all you have to do is exercise, clean your blood. There are herbs you can put together to detox your blood. Just because you have a spike in your blood sugar today don't mean you have to have that same spike in your blood sugar the next day. Just because it was a bit high this day don't mean you have to live for the rest of your life claiming to be a diabetic, claiming to have high blood sugar. Just change up high blood pressure. Just change up some things. And I know the stresses with life sometimes take an effect on people's health as well, but God is a healer. There's nothing that we cannot be healed from. We just have to change up what we do and what we put in our body sometimes, And like I say, let's stay in prayer, people of God. The prayer of the righteous does avail much, right? And love your brothers and sisters. Love is greater than hate. Love is very powerful. Love can be healing. Love can be healing. But anyway, that's just my little 2 cents. That's what was on my heart this morning. God bless y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed, a positive, a productive, and a joy-filled day. I woke up so excited today. I took a picture of myself this morning and I sent it to my pops. We were laughing because he woke up so excited. And I was like, you know what? Nobody ain't really vibing high like us. We vibe high every morning. And so we talked just about every morning. And he was like, no. He was like, people ain't vibing high. He said, because sometimes people want to wake up and they can be so negative and all of that. And my pops, he's 68 years old. But since God had connected us, we've been like glue ever since. He's like, him and his wife never had any children. But sometimes he'll call me, what's up, my firstborn? You know, what's up, baby girl? Or at night, just before I'm getting into bed, he'll send a text, good night, baby girl, pops love you, you know? And we've been like glue ever since. And we wake up with so much joy in our spirit. I said, you know, that type of joy where sometimes people who just want to be Debbie Downers, they'll look at you and say, why are you so happy early this morning and it's cold outside? I'm happy. My pop said, happy because we feel good. Happy because we healthy. Happy. I'm glad to be alive, right? But anyway, people of God, I'm about to pull up to where I'm going. Y'all have a blessed day. We know that the blood of Jesus is the only blood that has power. If nobody told you that they love you today, you are loved. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And you can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to believe it and never give up. Trust God with all your heart, right? Lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways, acknowledge him. Have a blessed day.